Welcome to Beyond the Laughter. It's your boy Lavetti Vegas, and we got the other host, man. You know my boy Terrance Gawith, man. And today's food, man, is from Lena's, man. We got super nachos, we got churros, and that's all good and gravy, man. But to my left, he has a show called The Great Exposure Show down at the back line. That's why almost every other month. I don't know when it is.
Every 3 months.
Every three months, man. I was about to say, because if we seen this every month, man, I don't know, man. The scene that turned into the Iowa Playhouse, man. Give it up for my boy Tyrel, Frazier.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, brother. Thanks for coming on.
I was about to say, man, I was like, man, I be seeing people, I be wanting to do it, man, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I already got enough drama on the scene. I'm like, you saw this beer belly? Oh,
it's fun. It's a lot of fun, man. And I will say, the more I've done it now, like and just to clarify for everybody, because he didn't say that all the comedians at Great Exposure do their sets in their underwear. And yeah, we've been playing with it for a while now. Like, it changes up a little bit.
Yeah,
we actually just are switching the format for the first time this next month in June. Instead of, having 4 or 5 comics doing normal 15 to 20 minute sets, we're doing just like 10 7-minute sets. And I found that we did a short set one last time, just kind of messing with it, and
the fast pace kind of keeps it going. Yeah,
it keeps the show moving. It prevents lulls at all, and it makes the comedians way more willing to do it for 5 to 7 minutes than for 15 to 20.
Yeah. Because see, that was going to be my question, man. Like, considering it's a smaller spot and it's a niche show, like, how much are you struggling to get that spot, man?
It's tough to find comics that haven't done it that are willing to do it, if that makes sense. Now that we've been going for a couple of years, we did actually start in a strip club. We used to do it in the strip club.
I remember.
And so now that we've been going for a couple of years, we like I said, my whole roster in Omaha, for the most part, are the people who are on it have done it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, most people I approach, and then I get the answer that Lavetti gave, and he's like, I don't know, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, and so I've actually started reaching out to other cities. This upcoming one in June is like 85% Des Moines comics.
That's what's up.
So it'll be, because you don't want to have the same exact people every show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we gotta get you guys down and.
So what inspired that, man? Like,
honestly, I just like being in my underwear.
That's good enough.
That's a part of it, right? Like, I'm just a cocky guy. But no, like, there's that. Like, I'm very comfortable with my body. I had read about a similar show that was like in the Northeast, which there is another one in Kansas City. Brittany Thailander runs that one.
Okay.
Shout out to Brittany, man.
Brittany's great. I went down and done the show.
The name sounds familiar.
She's come up and done Great Exposure. And I had read about this underwear show in the Northeast, and I was like, oh, I could do that. Now if I could just find people who would do it with me, you know what I mean? And kind of.
It started at American Dream. That's the perfect spot. That's the perfect spot.
And that was it. And then people liked it. It was lucrative.
Yeah.
So I've never wanted to do it monthly because I feel like it'll lose the novelty. Yeah. But
you run the risk of being too much exposure. Right. At that. So have you guys thought about like the spearmint rhino or anything like that?
You got a show there.
I have talked about taking Great Exposure on the road and maybe doing some Great Exposure in other cities.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of cities that do that.
Right?
No. Like, man,
I guarantee you'd get a few that would do it, especially in those cities.
I guarantee you.
Well, and I'm not even saying like New York, LA type of cities, but just cities that have a few 100,000 in the metro area. You'd be fine.
Des Moines.
100%.
Yeah. Even I don't want to go to Kansas City and stuff. But Minneapolis, things like that.
And Wichita, Kansas has like a scene. I'm sure they would do something like that.
Right.
Go a little bit further down there to Oklahoma City, you could probably do something like that. It's funny, man. So we'll just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. You know, Tyrel doesn't look like what you would probably think a Tyrel would look like. And what's funny is, man, is you're actually one of the reasons that I dropped the set of jokes that I do, because I did a set of jokes about having a black name and being a white dude. But then I was like, well, damn, he's got me beat, man. Like,
well, that's an honor, man.
Well, you know, the Tyrel to Terrance is like.
Yeah, what's crazy is I feel like the whitest guy in here right now. You know what I mean? If somebody came in here and you asked them, okay, which one of their names is Trenton?
I was just saying,
it's not gonna be me. They're gonna be like, he's either Tyrel or he's Terrance. Nobody's gonna say I'm Trenton.
Right.
My name is Dad the Totem Pole right here.
Hilarious enough too, and I do cover this in one of my bits, but I grew up in a small town in Iowa, right? And I came up to Omaha for college, and I got roomed with Carl from Palm Beach. I got room. He was all, and then there was Big John from East St. Louis. All right, and these were my two roommates in college. And I always think that like the guy who was in charge of housing that year thought that he was doing like me a really big favor. He was thinking Tyrel Frazier from small town Iowa, and he was gonna like teach him about his culture. But in reality, he just created a modern day Remember the Titans situation. You know what I mean?
True, man. Like,
That's funny.
We just bonded through color. And they taught me about black culture through immersion therapy. Yeah.
Well, I got the most customer service voice right. This is some bullshit.
I think it is funny because if we went and paid for this meal and put our debit cards out there, you would get one of ours.
You get one of
ours back.
100%.
I'm speaking from experience, man. I had a buddy named Travis, black. We would go out, sitting there doing, dinner together, whatever, hanging out. And when we put the debit cards on there, I would always get Travis back. And I was like, man, you didn't even look at what was ordered. You just assumed this is racist.
That's too funny, man. We got to address the other elephant in the room, man, because we got to know, man. They say it's a rumor that it's somebody else, but we got to know the exact name. Who is your favorite female comedian, man?
Oh,
in the scene.
In the scene, I'm going to say it's my wife.
Hey, man, some people be like, well, I don't want to say this.
Yeah,
they in trouble later. So we was trying to see, man. We was trying to explore.
His wife is incredibly funny.
Without stepping on any toes. Now, I respect all of the female comedians in our scene. Being a comedian is hard enough. I'm sure being a woman on top of it makes it twice as hard.
Yeah.
But I personally, I try not to be biased. I think my wife is the funniest woman in the scene.
In the scene, she a grinder.
No, so that's
shout out to Rachel Ware, man.
Shout out to my wife, Rachel Ware.
Rachel Ware.
But I'm just out here trying to keep up with her. You know what I mean?
So when the award show came, which we both was hurt, you know what I mean? How was that conversation at home, man? When she won the award, not only once in your face, but twice in your face.
It gets easier.
Two times in your face. That's how she wanted. Y'all wanted together, but these 2 times, you know what I mean? I wasn't like.
Both times we were up for it.
Yeah, but she like, you thought you was getting this? Ha, silly.
The whole time leading up to it, she was much more unconfident that she was going to win it than I was. Like, I was like, no, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Both years, right? I was like, nah, you're going to win, and it's cool. Like, it's not, and then I got less butthurt each time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the first time my feelings were really, I pouted for like a week for sure.
Yeah.
I think I maybe only pouted for a day or two this second time.
So how does it work, man? Because, like, I'll be real. I'm petty like that. My wife can't be that funny in my house. Like, don't try. Don't even think about trying.
This man in trouble.
That's what I'm saying. It's
There's
like,
a lot of competition.
I'm saying there's got to be. So
in trouble, man.
No, it's all good.
Do y'all have like a code word or like a special room where you're like, look, this is where Rachel and Tyrel put their serious hats on, right?
No, I wish. She can't turn it off. So she just will be absurd at the worst of times. Right? I'm like trying to handle crap. You know what I mean? Like, we got this.
See, that's another reason. Yeah.
And but I will say that, like, in the house, we just laugh a lot. Like, we have a lot of inside jokes. We have inside jokes with our kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot of laughter. Then when it comes to the scene, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Like, which we try to keep it healthy and friendly. But
Absolutely.
it's definitely, we both get quiet when the other one gets a real big opportunity. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, hey, I got this weekend at the Funny Bone. And we're like, awesome.
I wish that was me.
That's great. I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go stare at my phone for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. See, I feel like that'd be the stuff that would sting, man. But it seems like it works out well. So you got kids, and from my understanding, they're a bit older, like in that like preteen.
Yeah, 9. Well, my daughter will be 10 soon. And
Okay, I was just saying that.
Son is 7.
Yeah.
Or 7 in a month, in 3 weeks.
Okay, so you're not too far.
So no
from me.
preteens.
Yeah, no.
For some reason, I thought it was a bit older.
My 9-year-old is
Older than you.
prepubescent, that's for sure. Yeah. But
Are they aware of what's going on in the comedy scene? Do
Oh,
they know
yeah.
Dad does comedy?
They do. My son is a little class clown, and he's just hilarious, honestly. He's funnier than I am. He's 7 years old. It's scary.
Yeah.
But and they both know that we're comedians. I do a big benefit show every year at the Benson Theater where we do a food drive comedy show. But you have to bring food that is kid approved, and my kids judge all the donations.
You're not just walking in with canned mixed
No, we
veggies.
won't take it.
Yeah, that's smart.
A 9-year-old we usually have a panel of 4 kids. We get a couple of friends' kids, right? And just one of them has to say that they would eat your donation for it to count to get in, right? Otherwise,
smart, though.
Otherwise, you still got to pay $10. And I will say, for the most part, it's just a lot of fun for the kids and for the people. People are excited to have the kids judge their donations. And you always get a couple of years the people who bring green beans to see if the kids will say yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're gaming it with
Yeah,
it.
and then they pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because then we have people who don't bring donations and just make a money donation to the pantry. But yeah. So they've done that, but then we put them in the soundproof green room during the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I don't want them hearing a lot of my material. But,
Yeah.
What's the for comedy? What's the city you want to hit and you ain't hit yet?
Ooh. Honestly, I very much would like to make it up to Baltimore, Annapolis, Washington, D.C. area.
Trying to get hood with it, huh? You trying
Right.
to get invited to the cookout for real?
A little bit. And honestly, the part I look at it strategically, I have a lot of people up there, just over the years that I know up in that area now, and but B, I love how tightly packed in those cities are.
Yeah.
So I honestly think I would love to go up there for a week.
You would. That's where I started. It's
And
great.
just do 2-3 shows a night
It's great.
because you can hop on a train
Yeah, that train
for
is
an
nice.
hour
Yeah.
and be at your next show.
Yeah,
You
that
know what I
train
mean?
goes everywhere.
In the next
man.
city,
It's beautiful.
you
man.
could do Baltimore at 8:30.
But the thing is
Go
you don't
do
even
a
have
10
to go to the next city. You can literally hop on the red line and go from somewhere in Foggy Bottom down to somewhere on, Southeast Capitol.
You just had to prove that you knew where those things were.
Yeah, there's a little bit of subtle flex for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think everybody should go through DC, man. Because as much as everybody talks about New York and LA, people don't realize the monsters that have come out of DC.
Do.
Because it's a different scape. LA is known for Hollywood and the fame and all of that stuff and the acting, and everybody says you want to get famous, you go to LA. You want to become a good comic, you go to New York. That's the general gist. But what people don't realize is the bed to New York is absolutely DC. That's where Dave Chappelle, Whitney Cummings, Patton Oswalt, Martin Lawrence. I mean, the list goes on. Wanda Sykes, you could just name them.
Yep. Well, I was gonna say, Chappelle's my number one personally, and so I know he got to start there. So I'd love to go hit some of those first clubs that he.
And it's different too because it's you have everywhere has education pockets, everywhere has diversity pockets, you have all that, but what's different about that is you have the politics. And it's unlike any other place because relatively speaking, everybody there is diverse, everybody there is educated, everybody there has strong political beliefs. It's a hub for a reason.
Right.
And that creates such a challenge in doing comedy that is so beneficial because it forces you to weave
really
in and out.
work your markets and
absolutely
learn how to think on your feet, I'm sure. Yeah. So that's, I would say, that kind of area. You know what I mean? I would love to go and spend a weekend doing LA or New York, but I'm a big pusher of nowadays with the internet. And
I was just about to ask you that. How you feel like, do you think social media that helped comedy or hurt comedy?
I think the market's flooded.
Yeah.
Right? I think that there's so many people doing it and putting it out there, right?
True. Yeah.
And I think that that's good for the popularity of stand-up comedy, right? And I think that posting those videos and getting your material out there is a way that we can all play the lottery to possibly get famous.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Overnight it happens. I think the landscape's ever changing. So I think there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my homegirl, she from Atlanta, man. Catherine Blanford, man, and she had hosted a competition I was in, and I stayed connected with her and stuff. And she from Atlanta. She had did her thing, and she posted something. That's what's crazy about social media. She posted something about it was pretty much Atlanta based. You know, a lot of times city jokes don't go over. You know, only in the city.
In that one
So
city,
if you see a clip of it, you're like, well, we don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
But what happened? Little John commented on it. David Spade commented. It was,
shit.
People from Atlanta. I don't think David Spade's from Atlanta, but he commented on it. And next thing you know, she's on a jet with David Spade. She's opening for David Spade. She's opening for Burt Kirkshire. And it's crazy because just like the year before, I was like, man, so what do you do? Because we're cool, but we ain't buddy.
Right.
So what do you do besides, how do you get on the road? Because this one I'm really trying to get into comedy. And she was like, man, I nanny. And really, they don't even really need any nanny. And they have another nanny that comes in just in case I don't go.
Right.
But this is how I do it. And that's the next thing you know, man, she ain't even got a job no more.
Right.
It's comedy.
That
is
comedy.
the job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly all it takes is for your one bit to go
with the right person.
ultra
That's it.
viral.
And it's spun. Man.
Yeah.
She even worked with Derek Strobe. Shout out to Derek Strobe. He coming here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean?
I got to host for him the last time he was in town.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I was feeling, this is a funny story about Derek Stroop. I hosted for him the last time.
I was both on it. Y'all both know. He's on the other one.
Yeah.
And I'm actually begging to host for him. He's the first weekend at the new club, and I've been begging for it. I don't know if I'm getting it or not. But.
Man, Daisy, put it on, man.
Please.
I'm emailing. I'm just
I'm
not.
Anyways, so I literally the weekend that I was hosting was the weekend after the last Great Exposure, and it kind of I just did. It wasn't great. I didn't have a great turnout, and I was real down in my head, and I was thinking about maybe it's run its course. And then when I met Derek, he was living in Denver at the time. He just moved to New York City now, but he was living in Denver at the time. And I walked up and I was like, "Hey, I'm your host. I'm Tyrel Frazier. It's nice to meet you." He goes, "Tyrel Frazier, don't you run a underwear show?" And I was like, "I do, and I will now run it for all time." Because if you...
That is wild.
Somebody's heard of it. It's somebody who I look up to has heard of it. And so I was like, I guess I just got to sit through the bad shows.
That is wild.
And then we've had some great ones since. So they hit their lulls when you're running any show.
Man, that's super.
But yeah, so that was such a big moment for me. Honestly, that'll be one of those ones that I think about it for the next 20 years. You know what I mean?
Man, that's dope, man.
But that's, Derek.
It's a level of validation you don't often get in this thing, man. Right? Like that's the thing is you go out there and it's you get the feedback from that joke, it worked, but then you go home.
Yeah.
You go to sleep. You wake up the next day and you got to do it all over again. And so you're like, damn it, man.
And there's no more humbling career, in my opinion, than stand-up comedy, right? Because you can have just the best. Hell, you can do a weekend at the Funny Bone hosting, right? And just murder all of your minutes on stage to a sold-out crowd of 400 people and get to hang out with a famous comic and drink and eat for free and just have the best weekend ever. And the next weekend, you will be
crashes
at the Lone Moose doing 7 minutes in front of 7 people
that literally hate your
don't
guts.
want you there, right?
Like, trying to watch the game,
right? No, seriously. and literally, and then it's just that cycle. And I feel like there are 20 so. Yeah, that was a good show. I made $20 for every I could do comedy and be famous to do this for a living.
I was made to do this. Yeah.
I'd have had those shows like, man, ain't nobody gonna stop me. I'm taking over. And then the next time I'm bombing.
It's literally those are the nights where you're like, where is Netflix to ink this deal, dog? Right here.
And then your next show, you spend $35 on Facebook ads and all of this, only to have 7 people show up, and you're like, well, let's do it. Like
you end up in a suburb of Trainer, Iowa. You're like, how did this happen, man?
Know, right. That's it. But yeah, and then you end up spending more in ads than you get paid from the show, and
dude, it's hurtful, man. So where do you see Tyrel Frazier comedy going in 5 years?
Oh, honestly, I personally think I'm focused on the marathon of it. I believe comedy is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. It's a constant motion. The people who stay in the game the longest are usually the ones who reap the rewards.
That's 100%.
You know what I mean?
Last man standing sort of thing.
Yeah. So honestly, just grinding. In 5 years, I would love to be doing comedy strictly to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of having a day job.
Right.
But I do have 2 small children, so that takes...
That was going to be my next thing.
Oh, that's a tough one.
So something that you might not know, this is the one thing that I was like, I'm going to like Tyrel Frazier, period, point blank, regardless of what he does, because you were polite to me every time we've interacted behind the shows and everything. Been very friendly very friendly guy. But the thing that sealed the deal on why I liked you was you made a post years back when we first met. And you said something about how whenever you're doing comedy, you're loving it, but you can't help but keep an eye on home. You're thinking about your kids.
Yeah.
Then when you're home with your kids, you love your kids, but you can't help but think, what am I missing with comedy?
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
That's such, that hits so close to home that it was like, okay, he gets it. And I feel like there's not a lot of people out there that truly get it. I think Lavetti's another one that gets it because we've had the conversations. It's like, I'm willing to risk a lot. I'm willing to sacrifice most things. My kids are off the table.
Always, that's the North Star. I always remember that the entertainment industry, it's never going anywhere.
It will eat you alive and spit you up as well.
And it doesn't care about you.
Nope.
And it will never just disappear, right?
Yep.
But with the kids, I try to remind myself that you only get 13 years with these little kids until they don't like you anymore. So you just got to soak it up because those years will be gone.
Right.
And the entertainment industry will still be there moving with or without you.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's good, man. I like the way, I like that keeps that tethering cable, right? Like I'm still here.
But at the same time, when my kids are 16, they don't like hanging out with me anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got a lot more freedom to go.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
in the same boat. Yeah.
That's it. I can do a 3-week tour or whatever.
Yeah. My wife ain't gonna miss me.
Yeah.
And my wife will come along.
I was gonna say,
my ex-wife will be glad I'm out of town.
right?
Everybody wins in this situation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, in 5 years, I'd just like to be touring and doing comedy full time. The alternative to that would be that we, maybe doing more here and maybe in Council Bluffs too, and help bring some more comedy to Council Bluffs. Yeah.
Man, so cause I don't see y'all really doing it together. I don't know if y'all separate or y'all got they just relaxed. Did y'all get bigger than the group? You know what I mean? Did y'all individually just get y'all was first? It was like, okay, we got a front man, we got Michael, and then it's the Jackson 5. Right. But then everybody became Michael because y'all all do a lot. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Everybody. I felt like everybody grew. But what's up with the group, man? Y'all still just cool? Y'all just ain't doing the group thing? Y'all grow out of it?
we're all still great friends. You know, Brent moved to Austin to be closer to his daughter.
Yes, sir.
Then the rest of us, I don't want to say got too big, but we grew outward more.
Yeah.
And we also realized that having a group of 4 people made it hard to produce a new show, right? Like we were doing the same show all the time. And we were like,
I hadn't even thought about that, but I feel like that would get stagnant.
it was
for
a
myself.
holdback,
Yeah.
you know, other than switching up the who was hosting and who was headlining and who was featuring, and you know what I mean, which was great to have like for road shows and stuff. But again, if you do one city or these small towns and stuff, and you do one, and then somebody who owns the bar in the next one is like, I want to get you guys next month. It's tough because we're like, well, like half this crowd's going to come to that show.
Right, yeah.
And it's going to be the same show.
Yeah.
You know? So that was we were kind of holding ourselves back there, if that makes sense. I still work like crazy with Noe and obviously with Rachel. And we got talks to go down and do some shows with Brent here soon. So, but yeah, so just relax. We all still love each other. It just kind of we're holding ourselves back.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
And y'all was like, all right, I'm about to go moonwalk over here. Y'all
Right.
go moonwalk over there. You know
Right.
what I mean? Everybody,
Right,
there's
kinda.
no Tito's. Everybody's Michael. You know what I mean? No
That's
Tito's,
it.
no Jermaines. It's all Michaels, man.
That's right.
I get it.
What's up, man?
All right, man. So we're reaching that point in the episode where we got to do it. So why don't you look at the cameras, tell everybody what you got coming up, what you got going on, and where your socials are at so they can follow you.
Oh, yes. All right. Socials, Tyrel Frazier Comedy across the board. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Tyrel.
Yep, one L.
Frazier comedy.
Comedy. Beautiful. Otherwise, oh man, I guess I'm just going to go with June 27th is the next Great Exposure show at 9:30 p.m. at the Backline in Omaha. We're going to have like 10, 11 comics down into their skivvies, representing their cities. And it's like $13 in person, $10 online. Just check it out and come to the show. It's going to be a blast.
All right.
I heard it, man.
Yo, we appreciate you coming on, man. I man, even though I
Thank
felt
you so
whiter than ever, you know what I'm saying? We had a great show. We had some great food.
Yes, we
Y'all
did.
have a great night. Just been beyond the laughter, man. No fumbles. Let's go. See y'all later.
Yes, sir. Thanks, brother.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me.